Hello, my name is Greg Dixon. I'm here with Roy Dickon, and we're talking about total traffic and conversion. We have a special review, an online effectiveness review option that we're promoting this week. And maybe Roy, you can talk a little bit more about that. And we're trying a new format, so I'm doing some stuff in the back room here.
Yeah, hopefully people didn't miss out on this because we kind of changed it midstream. But at any rate, for those of you who are here, the reason this all came up is we became aware, as we probably should have been before, that a lot of times when people are meeting you in a network meeting or even on the street or whatever, and they know that you're a business person and they might even be interested in checking out what you've got to offer, but they also just want to know about you. A lot of times, what they're doing is Googling you online, and that's one thing. So it's wise to make sure that you show up well online. And that's one of the things that Greg and I are talking about helping you do. Now, the other thing is, and maybe this is just as important, if it's a business person and they know you're a business person, oftentimes they're checking you out on LinkedIn. Now, it could also happen on Facebook, but it happens often on LinkedIn. As far as people contacting me, they almost always check out LinkedIn after they meet me or before they meet me. So I've found this to be just as important to make sure you're looking proper there as well. And so we can talk to you about all of that, but just basically it comes down to a couple of things. If you're promoting yourself, then you want to make sure your name comes up effectively in Google. And there's a lot of things on the page that comes up when somebody puts in your name. Now, that'll help a lot. And then, and the other thing is that if you're just promoting yourself, and not that that's a just thing, I mean, if you're promoting yourself, you want to make sure that your personal profile in LinkedIn is effective as well. And we can get into how to do that. Now, if you want to promote your business also, then there's a business page you can have in LinkedIn, and you probably should have a Google business profile. You might want to have a website. I mean, but there's all these things you can have or not have depending on how you want to appear to people and whether you want to transact business with them and in what way. So Greg has come up with something that I think might be valuable for some of you, and we wanted to talk to you about that. It's an online effectiveness review. And Greg, you want to get into the options on that?
Yeah, so what we do is we take a look at your whole online footprint. How do you appear online? Like as Roy was saying, is people will go into a networking meeting and then they say, oh, that looks cool, and then they'll go check out your LinkedIn profile or maybe your website, and maybe some social media, and if they get there and you're talking about dog walking, and your online profile says that you were a cook somewhere, there's a disconnect, right? Because sometimes people, we change what we do and we don't pay attention to what we're doing. The other thing is that LinkedIn has a huge amount of abilities, features that help you get seen. Roy mentioned a business page. So most people have a LinkedIn profile, but they may not have thought about having a separate business page. And that's where you can focus in there. If you're a dog walker and a chef, you can have separate pages, with a different audience, right? Instead of everything being in one spot. And then the other thing that the Roy is very good at is he'll look at your website. Does it perform well? Is it, takes like 2.5 hours to load the first page, which is a bit of an issue. And Roy's very familiar with some tools. He knows I guess what he does is try to understand what Google wants, and then he uses the Google tools to make sure Google gets what Google wants. Because when Google's happy, they make you happy, because they send you people to your offers and your website and your landing pages, all of that kind of thing. And it all works together. And Roy mentioned a Google profile, which I just realized that I should create one for myself. I haven't done that. I've been recommending it, but I haven't actually done it for myself. So that's one thing on the list. The other thing is, I was talking about, whether your profile is up to date. So maybe you have a unique selling proposition today that you really want to promote today that you may not have had 2 months ago or 6 months ago. So you have to make sure that all of your online assets are rowing in the same direction. So, your LinkedIn profile is consistently shows what your unique selling proposition is. If you have a landing page or a website, so if they go to the website, does that communicate what you're offering? If you have an offer, does that communicate what you're doing well? And what's the customer experience from going to visit your LinkedIn page to going to your website to signing up for your program? What is that experience for them? So we look at all of that stuff, and we're offering this for a ridiculous fee of $33. It's just we just want you to get the input, and what we will give in the report will be invaluable. It'll be just things that you can do yourself over time. You probably won't be able to do it all at once, but we'll prioritize it, and with these most of the highest value things that you could change. And often it's the LinkedIn profile. If your LinkedIn profile is good to go, then the rest of it follows. And then we'll look at, maybe the website needs some work, some tweaking. Maybe your offer needs some work. And so part of it will be that we will take a look at your total online impression. To some degree, one, we'll just go in there. If you ask for us to do it, we'll go just check out, see what we see. But we will also have a meeting with you to discuss what you're trying to achieve, so, maybe, and that will give us the best way of recommending what the next step is so we can identify where the gaps are, where the holes are, and how to go forward. And between Roy and I have sort of complementary skills and interests, and between us, we can probably help you do a lot. Roy?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Greg brought up a point that your priorities may change, especially your business priorities. Mine certainly did. And I actually had to go back in. I didn't really even think about it, but now Greg reminds me. I had to really redo a lot of my pages on my website because I was really doing things differently a couple of years ago. And that's when Google started changing a lot of things, and they ranked people differently for different reasons. He brought up user experience. What Google wants is if they're going to send people to you for free, they want to make sure those people are going to be happy and have a good user experience. That's what Google calls it. Well, if they were coming to my website before I changed it, it wasn't at all what I'm doing today. So it's just remarkable how you let a couple of years go by and things can really change on your goals and objectives. And they certainly did for me. So I'm glad he brought that up. I think you might be surprised. I talked to someone, I think it was yesterday, might have been the day before, and they hadn't reviewed their website for a couple of years. And you just really don't know what's there if you don't look at it once in a while. Now, Google really would like you to do more than just look at it once in a while. They would like you to continue to improve it. And we can talk about all that because this stuff you can do, and most of it's for free. and free ads from, I mean, essentially that's what it is. Google's bringing people to you for free. That's worth a lot. So it would certainly behoove you to take a look at what is being presented about you, both personally and from a business standpoint.
Yeah, that's really true. A lot of these things are free. It's just like most of the things on LinkedIn are free. I think the Google profile is free. So it's a matter of knowing what to do and how to go about doing it. And that's where Roy comes in. That's where I come in. And yeah,
Yeah, I think the LinkedIn profile has become really important lately. For one thing, Google loves LinkedIn. And so your profile can actually show up on page one of Google if it's good enough. And Greg and I know how to make it good enough. So we can certainly give you some good suggestions there. But you can make your, your profile essentially a lead generation machine if you want to. It doesn't really help you a whole lot if you talk a lot of personal stuff on LinkedIn. It's really a lot more beneficial if you treat it totally as a business platform, and most of the things you talk about are regarding your business and what solutions you can provide. It's good to give some personal information so that people get to know you, but to overdo that stuff probably doesn't help you a lot. And so there's a good way to go about presenting your LinkedIn profile, and it can be very effective.
yes, indeed, yeah. And I think I was in a meeting and somebody said that you were especially a master of LinkedIn profiles. So it's
Well,
pretty
I
good
w-
endorsement. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I certainly know a lot of things that you definitely should do. There are probably people that concentrate on only that, and they might be able to give even more information, but we can certainly get you started. And the things that we can show you are things that you definitely should do as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, the best time to do it is now. So our offer is ridiculously low for $33, and we'll take a look at your profile and we'll give you some a written report, and we'll meet with you and just sort of make sure you understand our recommendations, make sure we understand what you're trying to do. We can have a discussion of what your unique selling proposition is, and then the next steps. So the next steps may be just a bunch of many of those little tweaks that you can do yourself. There also may be things that Roy and I can help you do.
What what we like to think about is for ourselves, and what you probably want to think about for yourself is how do you want people to find you? And when they find you, how do you want to be able to turn them into a client if it's somebody you want to turn into a client? So you can set all this up to make it easy for people to find you and easier for you to convert them. And what we like to do is convert people to long-term clients and get a lifetime value out of everybody that hopefully, if you get our $33, essentially it's a freebie, really. And you learn a lot and you go, whoa, now that I see this, I wonder what else these people could teach me.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot of other things that we can tell you, and we would love to have you as clients for a long time. But whatever you want, if the $33 thing is all you need to be able to get all the clients that you need finding you, so you don't have to go out and find them continually, then that's all you really need.
Yeah. So go visit the page at totaltrafficandconversion.com. There's a link to our special offer, and you can find out more about us and about the offer. And just do it. Just sign up. Yeah, so we've got one scheduled for for tonight that we're going to talk with somebody about their online presence, and then we're going to go from there.
Yeah, it's something that you really should strongly consider because it makes such a difference. And when you can do it for such a small amount, it seems like it's almost a no-brainer. Well, I think it is anyway. You may not, and if you don't have to do it. But if it could be of value to you, really take us up on this, because we've got all the tools and everything. We don't just look at it and go, oh, well, it looks like you should do this, you should do that. We've got things that actually cost us money to have each month, and those things become available to you as we understand what you want to do and whether you're doing it already or not, or if there's some things that you might be able to do differently to actually accomplish your goals and objectives.
Yeah, no, it's a fabulous deal, and we hope you take us up on it. Yeah, it's less than a meal for two at Denny's.
Yeah, those meals are getting expensive now too.
Yeah, it's
even McDonald's is getting expensive.
Even McDonald's, it's getting close to $15 a piece, right? So
I know, and so for two, a McDonald's meal for two, that's about what this runs, and it's worth quite a bit more than that, I would say.
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, we would love to go over this with you, and we have to understand where you're coming from so that we can explain how you can benefit most from these free things that are available out there. And a lot of you probably already have websites, so why not make your website work properly? Yeah. We got some guidance on that. We've been doing this for a long time, so it's like if you had to learn what we can tell you in 30 minutes, it would take you years.
Yeah, for sure. So, and we tried that, and people said, no, we just want you to do it.
Yeah, and we don't recommend that, although we can. So if you really don't have the time, yeah, we can do it for you. Yeah. But at least work with us on this stuff so that we know exactly what you're interested in day by day, and we can help you achieve that. But we can also just teach you how to do this yourself. Yeah. And that's the most economical way to do it. And you're totally in charge of the whole situation. You can change it whenever you want. And you just use the same ideas for years. Of course, Google changes things, but you've got us, and you can come to us on Fridays, and we hope that you come with some questions, which I don't see any in the chat yet.
No.
But when you do, when you try this stuff and you've got some questions about it, come on in on Friday and tell us, hey, what about this? What about that? I mean, let's make this an interactive session so that you can learn how to do this and make some money and not have to waste time or money paying for ads and all this other kind of stuff that's really may not ever be of much value.
Yeah. Actually, that's a really good point there, because sometimes people pay for ads, but they're not really ready to receive visitors. They send people to a place that's not really ready. So that's what we look at the whole funnel, really, the whole online presence, and to make sure it's all the parts are working together. And really, awareness is the first place to start.
And when these parts work together, they really work a whole lot better. I mean, it's a lot better than 1 + 1 + 1 or 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. I mean, because you might have a website, you might have a Google business profile, you might have LinkedIn, and you might have Facebook. And if you put all those together, it's not like a total of 4. It's like a total of, I don't know. I mean, you can't even, it's to the power of 4, but it's not 1 to the power of 4.
I don't have my mug here. I've got a mug that says 1 + 1 = 11.
Well, and it's even better than that, but 1 + 1 definitely would equal 11. And if you did that with your website and your Google business profile, I'm sure that would be 11 times as good as just using a website. But when you bring in LinkedIn on top of that, then it's going to multiply it up to 33 or whatever. And if you put Facebook in there as well. Now, when you start bringing in Facebook, there's a lot of work there. So you might want to leave that one out, but because you got to post quite a bit in Facebook, unfortunately. The other things are not all that much work. But that kind of introduces a new level of tasks you've got to perform. Not that it's a bad thing. If you've got the time, people can get to know you extremely well. And for some people, it's all they need is Facebook. But we still recommend more than just Facebook because
there are a few people, Dan Kennedy included, would say you probably should try 10 things, right? And as long as if everything's working a little bit, you just continue with the 10. And if something's not working, you stop doing and trying something else. But if you send out one email and wait for by the post box for the return, it's probably going to not work. You have to try a bunch of things, and that's part of our review. Is we take a look at all those little components to see if they're working together as well as they could be.
And when we understand what you're trying to do, that's when we can be really the most helpful. So we can get all that in the $33, that big $33 special, that costly $33 special. But that'll give us an opportunity to understand what you're trying to do, whether it's you personally that you're trying to promote, or if it's a business you're trying to promote, or if it's both. And in what way you want to receive your leads and in what way you want to convert those, then we can explain some things that will be very enlightening for you.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, thanks a lot, Roy. And I think we'll call that good for today. And just come check out our offer here at totaltrafficandconversion.com and book your review.
We would love to be of help. Thank you. Hope you got something out of this, and we hope to be able to talk to you more completely.
Okay.